when you see a snake, just leave it. Don't try to attack it or harm it.
A snake, a python for that matter, at the hospital to undergo a surgery. But before that, it was in a house, probably to say hi. But it ended up in an encounter with the gardener, which didn't go too well. So it ended up at the hospital for the surgery that I mentioned earlier. Now, KNUST 2 has warned us against killing snakes for reasons we'll tell you all about. And the Moli National Park are saying that we should not kill snakes when we come across them. What should we do to them? We'll tell you all about that on this episode of Talk Chaw. My name is Chris, and I'll be doing this work.
I go by the name of Percy, and you already know what it is. I'm feeling so blessed and highly favored.
Again, they're really so blessed and highly favored.
Again.
I
had to really go check out iCream Studios for the second time, and I think that today it is very much hilarious to be over here.
The next time you'll be saying this for the umpteenth time.
So
brace yourself.
This is actually my first time saying this over here.
Okay, but before we build or zoom right into the story, let me give them a disclaimer. The following scenes contains images that may be disturbing to certain viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, the story. Can you imagine a snake, a python for that matter, in the hospital to undergo a surgery?
You know, sometimes you hear this piece of information and you think that the information is far-fetched and you can't really buy into that narrative, so you go on.
You're having doubts about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, for the sake of you and the millions of the other people who are having doubts about this, let me give them the full story. It actually happened. It happened in Lusaka, Southern Vorna Valley earlier the other week, in which a snake successfully underwent a surgery and was expected to make a full recovery. It's a Southern African python that was injured in the Lusaka Southern Vorna Valley, as I mentioned earlier. The python sustained 2 wounds after an encounter with a gardener. Following initial inspection and x-rays, veterinarians confirmed that the snake had no broken ribs and that its lungs remained intact, easing fears of severe internal damage. The reptile was taken into surgery where the wounds were carefully cleaned and stitched by Dr. Mudenda, a specialist veterinarian in tropical wildlife. During the procedure, veterinarian, I beg your pardon, also carried out a full skin inspection and removed approximately 15 ticks from the python. According to Safety Zambia, the python is responding well to treatment and is scheduled for further antibiotics and a medical review on Monday. The organization has so far incurred cost of 2,500 Zambian kwacha for the surgery and aftercare. Snake Safety Zambia has appealed to the general public for financial support to help cover the expenses of the rescue and rehabilitation of the snake, the python, as I told you about. So those of you having doubts, it's a real story that happened in what? Zambia. Zambia's Lusaka Southern Vorna Valley earlier the other week, around October. Can you believe all this?
So I really had to go online, then go get some content to make sure that it reaffirms my belief. But I just found those evidence that rather corroborates with what has been trending online.
It's real.
And it's really funny. So the first question I want to ask is that part of Africa, is that part of Zambia being mentioned over here part of Africa?
Yeah.
Or
proudly African.
We are living in a different continent. I had to really ask because
it's the same African continent. Zambia for that matter.
The Africa I know of, they are probably going to hunt their snakes in their fortresses. That is one thing for sure.
And do what with them?
And turn them into kebabs.
Oh my God! People
consume it. Oh, let me tell you one secret. The first time Cardi B came to Ghana, and she decided to choose the kebab.
The kebab that she was eating.
Welcome to Ghana, bitches.
The kebab that we gave her was intentional and was I don't want to
say anything. Kim Pinsky will come and sue you.
She was thinking.
Can it be in Ghana? She was lodged at Kempinski.
Yeah.
And I disassociate myself.
No.
I didn't say some.
I didn't mention any animal or something.
You are like speculating that they gave her python kebab.
The way that their meat is so sweet.
It's a delicacy. It's an international cuisine.
You don't even know you're
that means you've eaten some.
Nah.
Confess.
Nah.
How did you know it's a delicacy?
I can promise. Sweet. I can promise on everything that I'm not having that I've never eaten before.
But either way,
yeah,
the snake was in somebody's house in the garden and had an encounter with the gardener. Right? Can you imagine this scenario? Was the snake in the garden to say hello to the landlord or to bask and have a little fun time with the gardener or what?
Oh, if you were taking that task to play the role of a gardener, I don't think you are supposed to see a snake and get terrified and act on impulse.
It was obviously petrified.
Yeah,
he was petrified. The gardener.
That was too much because that is part of your job or something like
that.
To
take care of the garden, and the life within the garden. So the snake was part of the life that he was supposed to take care of.
But from what I heard the gardener actually treated the snake like the snake was
an enemy.
The snake that snitched on humanity for Eve to go eat the forbidden fruit or something. That is what I heard though.
It treated the snake like an intruder. Yes. Right? Yes. So he didn't take it lying down at all. He virtually attacked the snake because it ended up with wounds. And now I'm thinking about the transition from they meeting in the garden. This time around, not the Garden of Eden, because no Eve was there. It was the Garden of Lusaka, right? The gardener met the snake. And the snake was innocently walking.
Somebody just crawling, right? Crawling. Somebody passing by with no bad intentions to create something.
So the snake was a male snake from the look of things. So it didn't even stop by to say, Mr. Gardner, anything for the boys. It didn't say that. It was just walking peacefully, Peru, like taking a walk, right?
A hike.
Then you gardener, you go and have an encounter with hurting it to the point that you know that when he had that encounter with the snake, they called 911.
Oh God!
So
in Africa,
yes, the ambulance had to pull up, carry the snake in the ambulance, take it to the emergency vegetarian. Veterinary care
and stuff,
right?
For me, I have gotten all the evidence and stuff, and I've seen everything, but I still think that this information is far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched.
We have to investigate into it because
the snake was taken to the veterinary on an emergency admission.
Yeah, I think it is more like a charade to show that their country is more empathetic when it comes to treating snakes and stuff.
They have an organization called Safety Zambia.
Okay.
An organization in charge of ensuring that snakes are safe.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I think that when it happened, they had to refer the case to them and they quickly get the snake to the hospital to undergo surgery. Such a lucky snake.
Okay, so I think I had an experience about a decade ago back at home, and I would like to share it with the audience.
What was it about?
Okay, so it was one late evening, and I just decided to go check up on my brother. I think it was about, I was about 12, 13, 14, 15 years old.
So at most 15 years.
Yes, within that same period. I decided to go check up on my brother that evening. So I knocked at the door, and I couldn't get any response. So I just decided to enter and go check up on him before I went to bed. And when I entered, the room was pitch black, like total darkness. I couldn't really see.
There was a blackout or something.
I can't really recall. Nah, there was light back then. So I just stepped in with my right foot first, and I was just trying to reach for the switch, but I felt like I stepped on something.
You could feel the creepiness, the slipperiness.
Yes, and the thing was crawling under my foot, my bare foot.
Oh my God!
But I didn't want to be delusional or dramatic about it or blow that way out of
So you still reached out for the light.
So I reached out for the light, flipped the light on, and to my surprise,
a snake.
It was this approximately 18-inch snake that I have my feet on.
Which part of the snake did you step on?
I think I was probably in the midsection of the snake.
Oh my God.
I was
that's its digestion chamber.
Yeah, I was on the snake for like 3 to 5 seconds max. Like I don't want to swear.
And by the time that the light was on, you jumped like the highest jump ever.
You
actually flew. You got wings to fly.
I flew and I turned back. And one thing that I got to realize was snakes are having these they can sense heat signatures and they are having these infrared radiations and stuff to sense all these heat signatures. The very time that I opened the door, the snake saw me coming in. The very time that I had my foot on it too, the snake saw me over there. If it could hunt me or if
it wanted to harm you,
yes,
it would have done that swiftly.
It was of higher probability. So
it would have been like a reflex.
Yeah, I jumped and I looked back and judging from the scenario, I just had to welcome the snake to my room. And
my God, you didn't really say that. Finished it. You finished it.
We had a long conversation, and the snake expressed out how stressful life has been,
and it had to be passed on to the life of the dead.
Nah,
I meet the grand snakes.
Don't twist the thing over here. We had a perfect conversation. I didn't do anything to the snake.
You didn't do anything to it. But did it crawl out alive?
Oh, I escorted it out. If
you believe that final part of the story, it's at your detriment. But I know you did something to it, right? But me, if I see a snake anywhere around me, I'll be so petrified. I'll end up massacring it. But that's just on the lighter note. But this very snake underwent initial inspection, X-ray, where the veterinarians had to confirm that it had no broken ribs and the lungs were intact because it was hurt around. Like looking at the image there, you could see how hurt it was. This gardener wasn't playing, right? Then they went on to according to them, it eased fears of severe internal damage. That means that the snake safety Zambia people were so worried about the snake. Oh my God, this python is going to die like that. Right? So when they found out the ribs were intact, there were no broken ribs, the lungs are intact, they were very, very happy.
And one thing that I found very intriguing about this case was the fact that they made mention in the statement that the python was receiving the treatments very well.
Yeah.
And they were thinking about scheduling further antibiotics.
Yeah, they'll go to review,
providing medical reviews for the snake.
Yeah, they'll ask it, "Hello, python, how are you doing now?"
So they were giving the snake a 5-star treatment
at the veterinary.
He
had a specialist veterinarian. That's Dr. Mudenda, a specialist veterinarian in tropical wildlife, who undertook the whole processes to do skin inspection, move the 15 ticks. It crawls, so the ticks were on its body. Had to remove it and all those stuff. And the python is responding well to treatment, as you said, right? Wow. And it's scheduled for further antibiotics. That means they opened the python's mouth and put topical medicine on it or something. Oral medicine, I beg your pardon, on it in its mouth. And pythons don't have venom. They are non-venomous. That means that they can they cannot throw venom or whatsoever. Yeah. But how did they tame it to understand that whatever that we are doing it for your good? How did they tell the python that, Mr. Python, don't bite us, don't swallow anybody here. We're trying to take care of you. How did they calm it down?
So I think probably speaking, the python could read the room and could tell definitely well that it was being given a 5-star treatment. And when it leaves, it is going to testify to glorify Jesus Christ.
It will go to the python church and say,
"Hallelujah."
It will be like, "I am a chosen."
Yeah.
Can you imagine one day I was passing by one house?
Yes.
One of our church members' house to go and say hi.
It was
only for this devil in the garden.
Yes.
To come and cut me. And the Snake Safety Zambia came and took me. Emergency ambulance took me to the veterinary,
fed me,
and thank God to our Lord Jesus. I'm now fit and jump.
Yeah, but let's try to look at this scenario over here. Let's try to juxtapose the same thing over here and try to compare it to a victim who has been bitten by a snake in
before.
Ghana. Let me use Ghana to be precise. Before the victim is being taken to the hospital, the type of anxiety that the victim goes through, and when they arrive at the hospital, the questions that they will ask you before they give you the anti-venom. Like, what were you doing there in the first place?
They'll ask you.
What were you even doing?
Of all the places, where were you? Where were you in the bush?
What were you doing in there? They are giving snakes 5-star treatment
in Zambia. Maybe we should fly to Zambia too, so that when anything happens, they'll give us 5-star treatment. Snake in Pony, because this Ghana recently reached hospital. They and their rough issue. You see the way that they were treating human beings like they're animals, but in Zambia they are treating animals like they are human beings. And in fact, they spent 2,500, like 2,500 Zambian kwacha on the snake. Python don't chop 2,500 kwacha on medical expenses
alone.
The kwacha to be small menu, it be big money. You see the vibe, and they are now appealing to the general public to support and help recover the expenses of the rescue and rehabilitation of the snake. That means that they will take the snake for rehab to work on the snake's mental. The snake will go through therapy.
They say that therapy is a white people thing, but in Africa too, therapy is for the snakes too as well.
Yes, that's in Zambia, but in Ghana, you all know what happened between Ralph and the Rage Hospital people. You see, Ghana, we
are not serious.
Africa higher, but guess what? An Institute of Higher Education, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, also spoke about a snake. The snake on its campus. It's called the African emerald snake. Harmless members of the Cubobridae family. Sorry about the pronunciation. I'm not a biologist whatsoever to know the botanical name, but it's a Cubobridae or something like a family. Are occasionally seen across KNUST's green corridors. One was sadly run over today. Let us drive with care and respect the quiet biodiversity that shares our campus. So KNUST is saying people shouldn't be killing snakes, especially the African emerald snakes.
I think from my past experiences and what I really went through growing up, for me, I think that is the best initiative. And
they shouldn't be killing the snakes.
They shouldn't be killing snakes, because when I calculate the seconds that I had my foot on the snake and I just check how nothing happened to my body with no scratches and stuff, I think for me, ever since that moment, when I see a snake, I stop the snake. We have a good conversation that I feed it.
You now understand speaking language.
Yes, I speak it.
So why should come and visit you in your room tonight?
Yeah, it would be nice. And one thing I love about KNUST students is they are really empathetic when it comes to these stuff, as compared to the University of
Ghana people.
For them, they are irate. They will tell you into a kebab, like for sure.
They will tell you into a kebab.
But not serious.
But I'm surprised KNUST is telling its students and its residents or people who are on campus not to kill the snakes. They are saying that it's a harmless member of the Cubobridae family. But how will you be able to differentiate between the one that is harmless and the one that is not?
Oh, you can pick out your phone, take a picture, then set it online.
But while you are searching, what if it puts a quick one on you?
The snake is your friend, so it will be okay.
The snake is not your friend.
Don't try it.
But anyway, KNUST is telling us not to kill snakes. They are part of the biodiversity that share the campus, which means that they are also living things or human beings in quotes.
Yes.
You are living with.
We are creatures in. Yes. So we would have to treat them the same way.
Yeah.
We are going to treat one another. And I think it is actually good that they are really working on that.
Speaking of institutions telling us not to kill snakes, the Molly Park hosts workshop on snake conservation and safety method. They dubbed it Wildlife Ethics versus Human Safety. And according to the person who spoke,
when you see a snake, just leave it. Don't try to attack it or harm it. They don't want to bite us. They don't want to harm us. But they strike when they feel threatened. or they feel danger that you want to attack. As soon as you don't attack and you leave them, they will go their way. So let's leave them so that the ecosystem will be balanced. We need them.
Which means that the way that he saw a snake and the snake didn't feel threatened, they didn't bite him, and he ended up still unaliving it and now lied that he didn't unalive it. When you see a snake, according to Moli National Park people, do not kill the snake. So one, KNUST is saying do not kill emerald snakes. Moli National Park are saying do not kill snakes because they are part of our bio safety whatsoever, biodiversity whatsoever. So now the snakes, we should all leave them to be living and roaming about freely.
Yeah. I think God gave them their venom as a defense mechanisms for them to protect themselves should in case somebody makes the first strike, and also to hunt for their prey, because they are not really having the arms and the full like we are having to pick up their bags and go to work every day. They would have to harm their prey and just feed.
And we are their prey, or prey?
The rats and the mouse and all. So they are supposed to feed on them rather. So I think.
So why don't they feed on them and sometimes bite people?
They would only bite when they are pushed to
like the way that the Moli National Park lady was saying. She said it balances the ecosystem, right? And KNUST was saying the biodiversity, right? So does it mean that that's the importance of snakes in our lives?
I think we are supposed to treat them the same way we treat our domestic animals, our cats.
Are they domestic? They are wildlife. They're supposed to be in the bush.
Wildlife. They are supposed to be in the bush. They are supposed to be in the bush, although. But if they haven't really harmed us or really threatened us, there is no need.
There's no need to do it. So you will take Moli National Park's advice and KNUST's advice. And if you are in Zambia, you'd have taken the snake, the python, to the veterinary as it was done, and spend 2,500 Zambian kwacha on a snake, a python. A python that can swallow somebody.
Oh, just because of saying we shouldn't harm them doesn't mean I'm going to spend that amount of money.
So you spend that amount of so you treat them like the
the gardener. I wouldn't harm them, but I wouldn't spend that amount of money on them.
But you would discipline them.
I would just escort them wherever they want to go.
But either way, let us know your thoughts about this whole snake thing that is happening in Zambia to Ghana to KNUST is talking about not killing them, and now the Moli National Park to be precise, is saying it balances our ecosystem, so we shouldn't unalive them as they help us all in having a balanced ecosystem. What do you think about this? And when you see a snake, what will you do to it? This is Talk Chaw. My name is Chris, and I've been doing this work.
Percy, that's the name.
See you.